What's going on, guys? Trying to get my table set here. All right. What we're going to show you today is a pair of Wilkin's Griptilians. Does that make sense? Wilkin's grips, titanium Griptilians. So start off with this one. I was actually able to put this one together on camera, and then I carried it and used it for a couple weeks. I do love the knife. I think it's in a much higher bracket than what it was, with the plastic on it. And I know this is not a fair comparison, but here's what they kind of look like stock. This was my last video, or last couple videos back. This is the stock version. Of course, this one was the one that was repaired and cracked up, and then had to put a new tip on there and all this and that. And then a lot of people, very observant people, had noticed that there was a bar that's in there. Let's see. It's hard to see. Anyways, that bar that's right there, that's in the scales, it's actually holding together these liners, was missing out of that smashed up knife. So really, I could contact Benchmade, or I could probably even send this knife back to them. And then some people had mentioned to have them, you could buy a new blade for these and stuff. I think that's kind of missing the point. The whole point of that video was to bring back a knife and have a cool knife that's still super useful with a cool story on it. So to me, it would lose something if I customized this and got rid of those scratches. If I had it rebladed, and if I took that chip out that was there. To me, the cool part about this knife was that it was kind of like a reclaimed knife. And then it has all the scratches there where it was ran over. Anyways, video's not about this beat up one. But anyways, that is a cool knife with a cool story. Personally, I think. So anyways, got off on that tangent. That's what you get when you watch one of my videos. Sorry, not sorry, There's a couple different types of people who are on YouTube. Well, there's probably 100 different types, but to me, I found there's two major types. There's some that come for entertainment, and then there's some that come for the no nonsense. Like, I just need to know about that knife. I'm only interested in these grips, and if you talk about anything else, then they don't want no part of it. And I understand that, but that's not the type of channel I am. If I was, I'd have a script and I'd have a highly edited video. So I will not apologize for that. I even put that in my video profile, I believe. I don't know. I'll make another video about that. I'm not too smart with all that stuff. But anyways, I digress even more. Hopefully you've been able to get a look at this knife, though. You can see I put some scratches on it. I did not customize this one at all because I wanted to carry it and use it. And I guess this is my little mini review on it, even though really it probably needs its own video. We already went over this when we put it together, though. All the fit and finish on his stuff, Kevin Wilkin's grips, is great. And please, please, please understand that I am not being paid to say any of this. I never got a set of free Wilkin's grips. Everything has been bought and traded for and all this and that. I know I shouldn't keep saying that, but I'm going to make another video on that. I'm not going to take any free product and do reviews and have GearBest ads and other ads for other knife companies and stuff on my... Now, what Google does, I don't know, because I am going to participate in AdSense from YouTube, but I will not have paid knife reviews. Might not be a good business decision for the channel, but it's not where I want to go. So if you guys ever see me telling you how much I love a Wilkins grip, please understand that Wilkins is not paying me to say that. There's no company sending me free stuff. Alright. So I'm showing you this. You guys have already guessed. This is a mini Griptilian that has the titanium scales on it. I wanted to take you a tour around so that some of you guys could guess what went on. There is a lot of work that went into this knife, even if it looks fairly sterile. and it doesn't look like there's much going on. Well, that's kind of the point. This gentleman here wanted a very understated look and something that he could carry and use and roll around in his pocket without the clip. He sent this knife to me without the clip. So he wanted the best of the best. He loves his Griptilian, so he chose to go with the titanium. He went with I believe this was an M390 Ritter blade. It has more of this bullhead, bullnose type look versus the regular, more pointy Griptilian blade. And then it's also got the upgraded steel. And then we rounded the spine. Did I say that yet? So the spine is rounded all the way up to that first set of jimping there. And then I put a very light contrast on the whole finish of the knife. So this might be hard to get on camera, but you can really see it in person. So these titanium scales have been glass bead blasted. So can you see how it's like a semi-satin, has a sheen to it almost? You can see that texture on it. Man, this lighting is great. And then what we did is also did that same glass bead blast here on the thumb studs. So you see how that's kind of semi-satin. And then put like a Rick Hinder working finish on this blade, which just means it was blasted and stone washed for a long time. So you can see it does have a stone wash finish on it, but it's more of a matte finish than like I don't even have any matte finish stone. Yes, I do. Here's like a matte finish stone wash, right? Not a matte finish, like a regular stone wash where it still has like a slight polish to it. Not quite as shiny as a factory Chris Reeve, but you know. So there you go. You've got your semi-satin here, your matte finish here that's been stone washed. These have also been treated the same exact way. So this was blasted, all this hardware, and then I stone washed all the hardware. Okay, and I stone washed and blasted this, the locking here. Also did the liner and the blasting and stone wash and the pivot scale. So it looks very sterile. If you guys know the Ritter Griptilian, and most Griptilians have like I think Ritter on it somewhere and the M390 logo on it. Anyways, it's a very sterile look. I think it brings it up. Just that in and of itself brings it up that extra level when there's no writing on it. I really should get around to customizing this knife too. Not that it looks bad, but it could definitely look better, in my opinion. You know, you got the black, doesn't really, I guess the black matches with the back spacer, but then it goes on to the shinier blade, and it just, there's a few different things going on here. And again, if you're just using it as a tool, none of that matters. But you're probably not watching this video because it's just a tool. It's functional art, you know. It's part of the hobby. It is the hobby. Some of it. So, there you go. Here's his fit and finish, though. All beautiful. And it really speaks volumes about Kevin Wilkin's manufacturer of the grips. And also Benchmade, to know that they're both holding those tight tolerances. Not even made in the same country, yet they can actually, you know, have these two things come together and everything works perfectly. No blade play, no blade centering issues, and everything just works. Lockup's fine. If you haven't noticed, Kevin Wilkins does actually change up the grip pattern a little bit. So what I mean is not just a texture. See how this kind of pinches down? He leaves a little bit more meat on the back of the handle, which again for a smaller knife makes sense. I think it looks a little bit better. I think it looks a little tougher. And it gives your hand a little bit of something extra to grab onto here. So in any kind of torquing, twisting cut, you know, you just have a little bit more leverage. So I don't know. I like it a lot. I really like his designs too. I like these dimpling that he does on most of his stuff. And I did not have time to show you guys, but there was a month or two ago where I actually had 2 or 3 sets of his G10. And I had 2 titanium small mini grips, and then I had this one. So I was going to do a whole Wilkins grip video, but I had to ship those knives out, and I just didn't even see light at the end of the tunnel, you know, so I could even just say, hey, can I hold on to that knife a little bit longer and make those videos? So anyways, I figured you guys aren't missing much. The only thing you're not seeing is the G10 versions of this. That was my only criticism. If I had to say something negative, and it's not even really a big negative, it was something that would prevent me personally from carrying this knife every single day for EDC, would be it's a little bit thicker than the factory. Maybe not by much. This actually has a contour on it, so maybe it is when you come out to the center point here, it might be just as wide as this. This is more of a flat slab. But it's also heavier. So this titanium, it did stiffen it up. These knives do have a little bit of flex. This one may be more so than a standard regular one. I remember this pretty much got ran over. And I think reading the comments of that, I really feel like maybe this fell out of somebody's pocket who was riding a motorcycle and fell in the road, you know, and then got ran over a few times. Maybe. Who knows? But anyways, I like to think that. That's a good story anyways. So, that's part of it though with this knife. Again, knife of the story. Who knows what happened? It's just cool that it come back together and it's a functional piece. So it did add a little bit of rigidity side to side and up and down, and also it sounds way different. Griptilians are great. They're great budget starter knives. And they could be a great tool. If you didn't care about knives as functional art, there would almost be no reason that I would say you have to upgrade from your regular Griptilian. You know, if the plastic didn't bother you. Some people may actually like the plastic a little bit better. It is a little bit lighter. They might not care so much about prying ability or toughness like that. You know? I can't say that they're wrong. But anyways, as Knife Nut, I really appreciate this. And as a guy who likes to take a knife that I really love, you know, the Griptilians are great, the Delica's great, and then really upgrade it. You know, that's cool to put together your own thing. Now, I will say they're not cheap. When it's all said and done, you're going to have just as much or more in it than you would a Sebenza. So again, not that the Sebenza is everybody's taste, but you got to understand, you're going to have several $100s wrapped up in one of these pieces here. And some people may say, what? For a Griptilian, not worth it. You're crazy. You know, so you may be in that boat, or you might say, oh, that's really cool, and I love my Griptilian. You know? So I see both ways. It's hard to get a high-end axis lock, though. You know, I guess unless you go the gold class Benchmades, and then you're probably up 500 plus, because usually those are Damascus and this and that. And then the collectability, do you even want to carry it and use it? You could honestly carry and use this thing and beat it up. And if you even snap the blade off it, you could buy another Griptilian for $70, $80. And, well, you couldn't buy the Ritter, but you know what I mean. You're not going to snap these handles. So anyways, I think it's a pretty cool deal. All said and done, just understand it's not a Sebenza, but it's not supposed to be. And I think nobody's thinking that it is going to be. But I know that's the comparison to make. Is it really worth it? Well, you got to decide for yourself. But I really like the way this one did come out. Very subtle, no logos. That's the way I like it. I don't like a bunch of billboarded stuff all over. Then the rounded spine really, really jumps this knife up. And when you open it, I know I've already said that, it sounds like a high quality snick. Versus the hollow sounding plastic. It just sounds more rigid, more solid, but you are going to sacrifice weight for that. And some people don't mind. I have ran into those people who they would think that this feels cheap. They wouldn't want to carry this, you know. I can understand that too. So there you go, guys. That is the Wilkins mini grip and regular size grip. This obviously has the sheepfoot blade on it. And then the highly modified Ritter. I can't wait to send this back to the owner so he can actually carry it and use it. And then also that glass bead blasting holds up great to wear and tear inside your pocket, how this one will be carried with no pocket clip. So good choice here. I think the owner's gonna like it. He'll let me know. Maybe I'll let you guys know. Thanks guys, a lot of fun to make these videos. I'm so glad to be back. See ya.